TICC, it's one of the most feared events for all the athletes and one of the most popular for all bodyboarders and fans. Whoever wins here could possibly win the world title.
Ahorita ahora va a volar el sudafricano, a ver qué trama este humano. Vamos a ver qué trama este muchacho, va a ir arriba. ¡Ay! Tremendo aéreo de cohete Houston. Voló la Brenner de la reunión.
What's up, everyone? Manny V here. The Ilustre Municipalidad de Arica and Tomate Surf Shop invite you to the 2016 Arica Chilean Challenge, presented by Arizo's Surf Brand.
Of it.
Holy mackerel. Yes, we are here in Arica, Chile at the infamous wave of Flopos for an incredible day of action. I love coming here. The waves are giant. My name is Manny V and I'm here with Dave Hubbard, and I mean, it's going off.
The waves are firing. Our trialists have awesome conditions to work with. About 8 to 10 foot on the wave face. A couple even 12-foot sets out there, Manny. So these guys are getting big barrels and going for huge aerials.
Yes, this is the Arica Chilean Challenge. I'm reading the entire sponsor list, so give me a second. The Ilustre Municipalidad of Arica and Tomate Surf Shop presented by Arizo's Surf Brand. So a big shout out to those sponsors for making this event happen. And yeah, we are in round number 2 of the trials. Heat number 1, I believe we got about 9 minutes. I'm sorry, heat number 2, we got about 9 minutes remaining in this heat. So what are we expected to see in these conditions?
We're going to see a lot of killer action as the trialists continue to push through. We've already gone through round 1 of the trials. Like you said, Manny, we're into round 2. Then we're going to go into round 3, and that will decide the trialists who will be making it into the main event of the men's.
All right, so with nothing else to do, let's get to the action right now. Again, round number 2, heat number 1 out in the water. These are 20-minute heats. Top 2 waves will be scored. We do have the priority system in place. And again, this is it. This is for those spots on the main event. And how difficult is it for these riders to get to those top 8?
Well, they're going to have to make it through several heats. Round 2 is a seeded round, so some guys are going to have to make it through this heat and round 3, but some are fighting all the way from round 1, Manny, surfing an extra heat, and that just means more time in the water, more chance for, fatigue to set in, but also a little bit more wave knowledge of the current conditions, and we do have a lot of local Chileans here from Flopos, but as well from neighboring cities. So that was, I believe, the South African giving it a go. Just a short ride there, but here we see a little view from the structure of Ex Isla Alacran.
Amazing. Scorpion Island, translated from Spanish, and this place is incredible. Out in the water right now, let's bring you up to speed. We do have Kevin Orihuela in the yellow jersey, but up and riding right now, Sebastian Kreft, I believe, in blue. Sebastian, no, I stand corrected. It's not Sebastian Kreft, so give us a second to catch up. I've been watching the waves the entire time, but I know this is Manea Fabish.
And he's out. So the last several waves that came in were kind of shutting down for our riders, and that is something to take into account. We can have some perfect waves, Manny, come in, and we've been seeing a lot of epic waves all morning, but not every single wave is perfect. Not every single wave is epic. So sometimes the waves will come in and just shut down on the fellas. They'll have to dive out the back, and hopefully there's not a big set tracking them down at the same time.
Yes, we've heard a couple injuries already go down, and we'll come back to that during the free surf, but we're going to come back to that. So out in the water, again, we have heat number 1 of round number 2 of the trials. Who do we got out there?
We have Kevin from the Canaries. We have Wilder from South Africa, Manea from Tahiti, and Sebastian from Chile.
Yeah, so that is not Sebastian Kreft. I apologize. Sebastian Hernandez is in blue, Wilder from South Africa in white, Manea in red, and Kevin in yellow. The current situation, you can actually see for yourself. The live scores will be posted right next to the live feed on apbtour.com/live. And that's where you're going to get to see the scores getting dropped. And right now, the situation in the water, we have in 4th place with only 1 wave is the rider in blue, Sebastian. But taking a look right now in live action, Wilder Schultz.
So here's the South African. He did well in Itacoatiara in the trials, Manny, and was just barely eliminated through an interference. So let's see if he can get a nice roll off on that inside section. Milks another roll there. Incomplete on the second maneuver, but I did like that first maneuver, that nice Rolo for Wilder, and he doesn't need much, Manny, to move into an advancing position.
Yeah, so he is in that 3rd spot. 2nd place, Manea Fabic with 2 rides, 2 solid scores actually, a 7.67 and a 6.67. And then Kevin, the Canary Island local, he is leading the heat with 10.83 and a 7.50. So there is the update again for the live feed, the live scores. Head over to apbtour.com/live. 4-man heats, top 2 riders advance on to the next round. And that's where we're going to be hand picking. Or actually, we won't be hand picking. They'll be competing for those 8 very elusive spots to the main event.
Exactly right. We've already done the hand picking in the wild card selection.
Look at that.
So we have filled some with wild cards. There's the live view. Right behind where we're situated is just a beautiful setup. And that's the iconic wave of El Flopos, Manny, that we come here
Yes.
every year for the past, almost every year for the past maybe decade or more. This event has been going on, and it's been a part of the World Tour for quite a while. So this is a tremendous opportunity for points, as we kind of heard about on the, teaser preview. This has World Tour implications for the world title on all 3 divisions.
Yes, and you brought it up. Jared Houston won here last year, and he went on to win the title for 2015. So there's a pretty good chance. I mean, if you do well here, you're looking really good as far as getting high up into the leaderboard. What is it about this wave that brings out the best in the bodyboarders?
That is a great question, and it really is. It's a great kind of a gauge to see the commitment level. Let's take a look at Manea Fabic here. Here's a Tahitian. He knows lefts very well as he surfs some wicked reef breaks back home. He tucks into the barrel just briefly before attempting a Rolo at that final section. Unable to come through, but we do have a rider up on this right-hander.
That is from Canary Islands, Kevin Orihuela, pulling into that nice little barrel, covers up, comes out with a spin. And again, we're going to see a ton of barrels. We're going to see a lot of big moves. And I mean, they're not just going to pop up in front of you. You actually have to have a good wave selection, and he comes all the way to the inside. And again, this wave is very, very dangerous. We've already heard of a couple injuries go down in the free surf, and give us an insight on what that bottom or the reef is doing out there.
It's brutal, Manny, because it is not evenly shaped. It's not just like a shelf. There's huge mounding, I wouldn't call them boulders because they're fixed to the bottom, but, pillars, and then there's, little caverns, and it's just so oddly shaped as you approach the island. We have a beautiful reef. We call it a reef. It's just a rock bottom that the waves break on out there, and it's fairly smooth on the approach, which gives us clean and beautiful waves. But then as it approaches the shoreline, that's where it just gets so irregular, and there's also things that'll like cut you up, like crustaceans and stuff.
Well, you don't have to worry about that. You're going to be nice and cozy on your couch watching Arica here unfold. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Manny V here with David Hubbard, bringing you the live incredible action. This wave is insane. And yes, this is the Arica Chilean Challenge presented by the Ilustre Municipalidad of Arica Tomate Surf Shop, and it is presented by Erizos Surf Brand. I will have that memorized by the end of today, I guarantee it. So
there's also some other helping
Yes.
parties as well. Universidad de Tarapacá, Aguacielo, 360 Energy Drink, as well as Panamericana Hotel, FMOK, and Hertz.
yes, so thank all those sponsors. We thank you for making this event happen. Again, it's been incredible so far throughout the morning. We've seen some riders advance on, some riders getting super deep barrels, hitting the lip, and just getting crazy. We are going to go into heat number 3 right now. I believe heat number 2 in the trials, round number 2. So let's get into the action. Out in the water right now, we're going to see in the red jersey, Gabriel Popo. In white, we're going to see George Saavedra. And in yellow, Yoni Aguirre. And in blue, Alexander Whitman. So we have a Brazilian, Peruvian, another Peruvian, and a Chileno out in the water. We are all about getting through these trials rounds today. And a little bit about the conditions that seem to be working on clock perfect. It's like on a system where midday onshore winds come in, and in years past we usually shut down and wait for the next day, but yesterday was special.
Yesterday was a special day, man. We had glassy conditions all the way up until 4 and just a light breeze until the sun set. So yesterday we could have done a full day of competition. It wasn't within the waiting period, of course, so everybody was
Exactly.
waiting to start, but today we're hoping for something similar. We're going to push all the way through the men's trials so we can get the 8 riders that will be joining the men's in the main event. And so actually on the water right now, I met Johnny Aguirre. He was one of the few that joined me. I was alone until about almost 4 o'clock, and he was one of the fellas that came out to join me, live action.
All right, that is Alexander Whitman from Chile dropping in on that one. And oh, what? Are you kidding me? I thought he got dusted in that barrel, but at the end of the screen, on the side of the screen, it looked like he popped out. So, yes, we are thanking you for tuning in. Today is the trials, and today essentially is a nice test run as we get everything fine-tuned, getting ready for the main event. So, I mean, we're stoked to be seeing and delivering live action at this wave no matter what.
Certainly are. Certainly stoked to have our courageous competitors battle it out for those slots. as well as so pleased to have you joining us live as we bring to you the Arica Chilean Challenge 2016. It is an annual event that we are so thrilled in the world of bodyboarding to be able to come here to this incredible and iconic wave here in northern Chile in the city of Arica. And this used to be an island, but they built a kind of a jetty road all the way out to it, so they do know it now as Ex Isla Alacran.
Yes, and we've had some spectacular waves coming through all morning. I was sitting on the beach, and Amory Laverne out there. There was 20, 30 people out in the water free surfing. This guy was running around circles, catching lefts and rights while everybody was just sitting still. And then we saw Jared Houston go out there getting some warm-up waves. Jacob Romero also spending some time out there. So it was great to see everybody getting out there warming up and see what kind of maneuvers are going to be made out here. What maneuver cannot be done out there?
Great question. I think most maneuvers could be performed out here. The incredible option of taking to the air is definitely one of the things that each and every rider is looking to do. Maneuvers can be done on the wave face, but it's not really sought after. But we will be seeing spins done on the wave face, 360s in the forward and in the reverse direction, as well as simple barrel rolls. But then what we're really looking forward to is those ARSs, backflips, inverts, air forwards, and then even maybe some big air reverses and other variations thereof. So we are thrilled this wave does offer it all.
Yes, I mean, I saw a couple social media posts already going up. Pierre Louis Costas, throwing up that he threw up on his social media boosting a huge reverse on a right. So Diego Cabrera posted something where he's doing a giant air forward, I believe. So, I mean, the action is here. It's just a matter of wave selection.
Yeah, and that is plays a huge part in it. Wave selection is absolutely crucial. Here we see yellow up and riding. This is the Peruvian Johnny Aguirre. He gets a little caught up coming around the first section, rolls it. Now he's looking for something else. Coming to that inside section, Manny, it offers you so much speed. It doesn't always offer you a nice section to hit. So that's something that wave selection will play into, as well as just kind of going with the flow, being flexible with what the wave offers.
Yeah, so if you get that section, you're going to go, 99% of the riders are going to look for that lip and go for that big aerial maneuver. So definitely exciting event going down for the next 10 days. Today is the first contest window. We have 10 days of action all the way till the end of the contest window. I'm excited.
We are all just thrilled to be present and checking out this kind of stuff. We got our rider in red stalling. He wants a big section. He finds the lip, punches a nice roll there, and completes it smoothly.
Looks like, look at the reef right there. You're pulling off a maneuver, you ride it out just a little bit, you're going to end up on the reef. And he's probably paddling in like 1 foot deep water, going over the reef. And we've seen riders pull off a maneuver and ride up onto the reef with no holds barred. So fear, it's not, you got to leave that at the door.
And competitor from Peru, Johnny Aguirre, was having a nice chat to me out in the water yesterday about that exact topic, Manny, about fear. He said he's surfed out here a bunch of times, but he always still approaches it with fear, and but a healthy fear, he wanted to say. So here's our reverse spin on the face. We're talking about maneuvers on the face, so some of them are being done. Now this rider's going to be stalling and hoping for the inside section, and he's really milking it way far in there, Manny, and he does manage to get to the end of the ride. That might have been somebody coming in. Here we have Alexander Whitman from Chile. He's got a little pocket ride before pulling out. So
he's making his way back out. So there is I wouldn't even call it a channel on the left. I mean, you can get caught inside paddling out on the left, but that is the quickest way to get out into the lineup. And some of the sets are going to close out all the way through, but that is probably the best route to get back out into the lineup if you catch any of the waves to the left. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting on how a lot of these riders continue in this event, whether to go on the long, drawn-out right or go for this deep barrel, possible barrel on the left, and then do a big maneuver. So you're competing in the main event. What are you thinking about doing out here, or is it going to be an adjustment as soon as you get ready?
I think I'll, play it by ear. I don't want to force anything, and that is something about Flopos. It is nice to have a game plan and to watch the conditions before going out and know, where the potential for scoring is. But then once you're out there, you really have to take what the ocean offers you. So I will be hoping for just opportunities for scores. And those, as we were mentioning, Manny, they can happen on rights and lefts. And they can happen barrels or large maneuvers or series thereof. So.
All right, I'm going to keep picking your brain on that. But first, we have live action up and riding. We have Johnny Aguirre.
The Peruvian looking for something, and he dives out. So does the Brazilian.
All right, so both of them cut out, but cutting in right now. Looking into this one, yeah, perfect, pulling back. It looks like Begonia is ready for the interview with the winner of that first heat. Take it away, Begonia.
Thank you, guys. We're here with Kevin. Kevin, this is your first time here in Arica. What do you think about the wave and the place?
Sí, es mi primera vez aquí y la ola la verdad es que es muy fuerte, ya la había visto en vídeos y en fotos, pero no es lo mismo que estar aquí y la verdad que me parece una ola realmente buena para surfear y para un campeonato es perfecto.
Well, it's his first time here in Arica, and he thinks he already have seen this wave in videos and previous champs, but he feels the wave is really dangerous and really strong, but he's really happy to be here and he really likes it. Cuéntanos un poquito acerca de tu hit, cómo fue, cómo estuvo eso. Está difícil las condiciones, así que cuéntanos un poco.
Las condiciones están como cambiando todo el rato, el pico no se mantiene en el mismo sitio y tienes que estar atento ahí a ver las buenas. Y el hit, nada, empecé cogiendo unas derechas así, no tenían potencial y no conseguía hacer una buena nota, hasta que de repente vino una, la surfeé bien, conseguí una buena nota y a partir de ahí me quedé mucho más tranquilo y pude hacer otras más.
Bueno, pues, he feels the conditions are a little bit hard right now, even though it looks very glossy and very nice. He picked the peaks moves a little bit, and he actually got lucky to get good waves, and he's very happy about that. Okay, ¿quieres saludar a alguien ahora en tu casa o mandar algún?
Quiero dar las gracias a mi familia, a mi novia y a toda la gente que me apoya ahí.
Okay, so excellent. So back to you guys in the booth.
Thanks, Begonia, so much. Terrific interview with Kevin Orejuela from the Canary Islands. Just speaking a little bit about, he's seen this wave a lot, and now he's fired up to move on into round 3. Just now one more heat away from that main event slot. We are going to be deciding our trialists qualifiers today. We're going to be moving through 3 rounds of trials. We've already gone through 1, and we're into the second. Now, trials, heat 2 of round 2 is in the water. And as you can see on your screen, we do have beautiful conditions here today. It's maybe a touch on the slower side, Manny. So there are just a few little gaps in the action, but hey, when the waves come in, they are pretty sick.
Barrels and big moves, that's what you're going to see here at the Arica Chilean Challenge. And again, do not go anywhere throughout this event. We're going to get to the big names in the women's, pro juniors, and men's division come the main event. Today, it's all about the trials, finding those 8 riders that will move on into the men's main event. And that is what's going down pretty much all day today. We got 3 rounds. Round number 2 is currently out in the water, and up and riding we have Gabriel Pop. Oh no, I stand corrected. Johnny Aguirre.
The Peruvian staying quite active in this heat. He's taken several rides. Now he's looking up for a nice roll. Gets clean projection. And that was a tricky section to hit, Manny. Some of these sections, as they get further down the line on the right-hander, they get this almost like a little rib in them, like a little bit of a bump. And it kind of makes your bottom turn up to the lip just that much longer. It's pretty tricky. Here's our rider in red, looking for a big old maneuver, but a through the lip attempted exit, and he's out. So we see a nice wave in the background, but competitors who are out the back opting not to go on it, patiently waiting. Probably a good chance, as scoring potential may not have been too high on that. And let's talk about the scoring, Manny, while we're on that topic. The scores are based on a 1 through 10 system. So 10 is a perfect score. And as long as you ride a wave, you're not going to get quite a 0. But I guess we'll get into interferences and everything like that. If you do interfere with somebody, you'll get a 0. Otherwise, you'll get a 1 at least, even for cutting out of the wave. So the most critical maneuver, or the most radical maneuver rather, in the most critical section of the wave will garnish the most points. So that, technically speaking, is about, maybe getting a deep barrel. That's pretty radical, and that's a super critical section of the wave. Also a big aerial. So those two things alone can get massive scores up into the excellent range. And for mid-range to good, a nice backflip, arse, roll. Some of those maneuvers, if they're done super large, can also move into the excellent range as well. And a simple score like a spin or a small rolo is going to be just a few points.
So, I mean, it's totally possible for a scoring wave here almost be an excellent wave anywhere else. But because of the conditions here, getting those 10-point rides is still going to be really tough.
For sure, definitely. Good point, Manny, because here you could get a wave that gives you a nice barrel and do a nice roll out of it. But for the wave size and what's possible, that's where the difference would come in. If you got a barrel and did a roll out at Beach Break or some other place, yeah, that could be an excellent score. And for here, it could just be a 4-pointer or a 5. So that definitely is something to consider when our riders are competing out here at this very critical wave that's so high performance, that something you may usually see that is typically viewed as very difficult. Out here we're looking for a higher degree of difficulty because the wave is offering even more scoring potential.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those special places on the planet where, I mean, if you're at the top of your level and able to compete in these conditions, you are smiling like this guy right now. Oh, getting caught way deep and pressing the eject button before pulling into that closeout. And pulling into the closeout, I mean, I don't know if I'd want to do that here, especially with a rock bottom reef with just barnacles and shells. You can totally get hurt, and we've heard of a couple riders already getting hurt in their free surf.
Yeah, there's been some blood shed on this reef already this morning, Manny. It's not uncommon for riders to come in with scrapes, cuts, bruises. It really does go with the territory here at this venue because it is a heavy wave and it is slightly unpredictable as well. So we can have, perfect waves come in, and then we can have waves that kind of look like they're perfect and end up being quite a different story. And we're going to see, like Alexander Whitman, for example. He was the last rider that cut out of that right-hander. He's got tons of experience out here. We're going to see riders with so much experience still doing similar things like that, where you think, hey, does he not know this wave good? No, he knows this wave really well, but that doesn't make him invincible. That doesn't make him, being able to read it perfectly. There's still going to be that element of error.
Gabriel Popo in red, looking for that section. Oh my goodness! one of the biggest moves so far in round number 2. Gabriel Popo just putting out all the stops, trying to pull it off, and there he is getting right above the reef. Oh my goodness, that was massive. And out the back, it is Johnny Aguirre.
He's going for a little barrel. He gets a little cover up there after that check turn, but doesn't come out of it. And if we're able to get a replay of Popo's ride, boy, I tell you, that was a massive arse. And it was huge. The landing was so solid, and the impact was massive. But as we could tell, he really hung on and continued riding for quite some time. I'm not going to say it's like a totally complete maneuver, but I think the judges are going to award him a considerable amount of points because of how far he continued with the energy of the wave.
That was massive. He was easily about 10 to 12 feet above the water, and to be able to hold on and try to pull that maneuver around, that's what the kind of action we're going to see throughout this entire event. And man, yes, we're just getting settled in here in Arica. The replay guys are getting settled in. The scores are settling in. So all of that will be coming to you live from Chile, up and riding.
Here we have Whitman, the Chilean, up on this one. Tucks into the barrel, then goes for a roll. So here's one of those waves that we were talking about. You know, if you do that at another area, it's going to be a huge score there. I think it'll be mid-range. But as you can see, Manny, he was stuck in the energy of the wave.
Oh my gosh.
Continued so very close to the rocks. Wow, just a really intense place, because the force of the wave is really hard to get to exit out of the kind of the motion that and the energy of the swell itself. It's crashing up here onto these rocks. And it's not always easy for our competitors to get themselves out of that energy. They get usually just dragged as far as the wave goes, and some of these riders get shipwrecked, as it were, up onto these vicious rocks. So now we're seeing a set come in out the back. Competitors looking. Here it is. Johnny Aguirre.
All right, Aguirre on a little white frother of a wave right here, trying to stall and set something up. As you can see him dragging his legs, and he goes for a roll right there and gets caught at the very end on that last maneuver. I mean, that roll wasn't super clean. He used the power of the wave to roll over, but not much projection. That wave probably won't be one of his highest scoring waves, but it's something on his scorecard. Again, top 2 waves are being scored, so when you draw out these longer right-hand waves, you can piece together a nice combination of moves, but that's what he was trying to do there. But it wasn't one of those bigger waves. It wasn't a clean wave as well. But again, he's just trying to add onto his scorecard. Top 2 waves scored, and we have 20 minutes per heat.
Yeah, and as this heat kind of comes down to an end, he's got to kind of pull out all the stops to get the points he can, and so that's why he was really milking that wave and stalling and really hoping for an opportunity for points there, and just didn't end up falling onto his scorecard, I don't think, but we will have to wait and see, as well as wait as for a little more action. As you can see on screen, we do have our competitors for the next heat on standby, sitting nearby, and the competitors on screen. There's a fishing boat right above them, Manny, and they're coming into port, and that's something you see all day long, as well as the birds. They haven't flown by yet. We're sure to see them in maybe in the next hour or two. But those are something very typical in this area. A lot of fishing happens from the city of Arica, and so that boat, who's just been trawling out at sea, is going to be making his way back to port and unloading his stuff. And there's a place to get local seafood, fresh, and it's right here in the city of Arica.
Yes, this is definitely a fishing village from the beginning of time. So diverse, the ocean, and a ton of tasty food, but oh my goodness, bailing out of that one. Gabriel Popo hitting a couple chops on the way down the face of the wave and losing a ton of speed, and knew he wasn't going to get anywhere if he pulled into that. So he bails out of there. Right in the impact zone, that is somewhere you don't want to be, especially right now. If the sets start rolling in, he's just going to get drilled. And then he'll have to make his way either to the left or to the right to get out of that zone, or suffer the consequences of just getting a serious beatdown.
But I tell you, I think it is Gabriel Popo taking the most risks in this heat. He's pushing it, and that's exactly what you need to win this event, as Guilherme Tamaga has shown us time and time again, is pushing yourself, pushing the conditions. We've seen him go for a huge aerial maneuver, and now we've seen him pull into a pretty nasty barrel. He's taken those wipeouts in stride, and now the heat's over, and he did go for it on his final opportunity. So he's, no matter what happens, he's going to be stoked because he really pushed it. And as we're looking to commence the next heat in the water, we're setting everything up and getting ready to bring you another heat. It'll be heat number 3 of round number 2. And as this is kind of our trial day, not only for the men's trials division, but also for the webcast, we will be bringing you scores and results just a little bit more so on the next days of the webcast.
So far, so good on this first day. I mean, again, we're going to see a ton of action. We saw some of the riders, again, we talked about wave selection, and we talked about just being in the right place at the right time. And if you do get that wave, you better put it all on the line as if there was no tomorrow, because that is what the other riders are going to be doing. So don't go anywhere. We're going to jump into the next heat number 3 of the trials, men's trials, in round number 2. Don't go anywhere. Well, welcome back, everybody. And there you see we're coming up into the next heat. Those are the names that are going to come up in heat number 3, round number 2. Welcome again, Manny V here with David Hubbard. We're going to bring you the live feed from the Arica Chilean Challenge. And yes, we have waves and we have a ton of action ready to throw down. We're going to, you know what, step right into it. We're going to go straight into round number 3. A great showing so far, but I mean, only one giant move was thrown in that last heat. I think this heat is guaranteed you're going to see more than that. So let's get right into the action.
We do have wonderful competitors, as we did see in this heat. I do expect, like you mentioned, Manny, quite an intense matchup. So we're going to see Patrick Orr, the young Hawaiian rider from Hilo, Hawaii, and Renato Arellano, one of the godfathers of the sport of bodyboarding in Chile, as well as Luis Carlos, also from Chile, and Airam Cabrera from the Canary Islands. If you've seen the event poster, the image that is being used for the Arica Chilean Challenge 2016 is a shot taken by the super talented Pablo Jimenez, and it's an image of Airam Cabrera from last year. And Manny, is it one of the sickest shots you've ever seen here at Arica?
It was massive, and that billboard is everywhere in town. You can't drive more than a few miles before you see Airam in that giant pit. So pretty spectacular city here. As you drive around, you have tons of just incredible landscapes everywhere you look, and we're going to be panning to some of those shots later on in the day. But just right behind us, I mean, we have a giant cliff. They call it El Moro, and we're going to be showing more landscapes here once we get settled in. So we're jumping right into the action. Again, this is the 2016 Arica Chilean Challenge, brought to you by the Ilustre Municipalidad of Arica, Tomate Surf Shop, and presented by Erizos Surf Brand.
As well as Universidad de Tarapacá, Aguacielo 360 Energy Drink, Panamericana Hotel, FM OK, and Hertz. So all those terrific sponsors really bringing in all that it takes. I tell you, it's not an easy job to put on a world-class event like this, but Tomate is the architect, and he's been putting on a beautiful event here for so many years. And so thank you to all those sponsors. Thank you to Tomate for rallying the crew. We've got a terrific group of workers here at the event, as well as terrific judging staff, and they are going to be, working on that 1 through 10 point scale that I mentioned a little bit earlier, deciding the points that will be awarded for each of the waves that our riders take. The top 2 scores will be used to come up with a total, and whoever has the highest total will be moving on, as well as also second highest total. So first and second positions in these 4-man heats will be moving on into round 3, and from there, first and second advancing positions will be enough to qualify them for the main event.
And that is where you will be going head-to-head with the top 32 competitors from last year's World Tour. And that's where you're going to face off with the likes of Jared Houston, Amory Laverne, PLC, David Hubbard, Jeff Hubbard. The list goes on, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be some serious throwdown going on in that main event. So thank you once again for tuning in. But right now, it is the trials in the men's division. Round number 2, heat number 3. Again, out in the water, red, Patrick Orr. In white, Renato Ariano. And in yellow, Luis Carlos Aranchi. Oh, sorry, I got distracted. Arancibia and Airam Cabrera in the blue jersey. Kind of looks like a black jersey out in the water, that blue, but here we go, up and riding, Patrick Orr. Nice, clean, extended roll, cylindrical, nice and round. Solid maneuver right there, but a 1 maneuver wave is not going to be a giant score, but it is definitely going to help his cause for the remainder of this 20-minute heat.
Yeah, and he did get the better of this initial exchange. Renato Arellano on a short ride, and it was Patrick Orr with a nice roll. Now we're looking at some riders possibly going to be splitting a peak. Whoa, on this right-hander, getting behind it was our rider in yellow, Luis Carlos, and he never eventually gets around that section. He has to dive out.
All right, check this out. We do have our interview ready downstairs with the winner of the last heat with Begonia. Begonia, take it away.
Thank you, guys. So, Chovy, this is the second heat you compete and you pass first. How do you feel? Es la segunda vez que compites el día de hoy y pasaste primero las 2 veces. ¿Cómo te sientes?
De hecho, emocionado, pues, ¿no? Por haber regresado otra vez al gringo, por correr estas buenas olas y emocionado por haber pasado primero, las 2 primeras rondas.
How was that rolo, that big air rolo that you got? ¿Cómo se sintió esa maniobra aérea, ese rolo aéreo? Tuviste buenos puntajes, cuéntanos.
Sí, estuvo bueno, no pensé que iba a volar tanto, la ola me botó hacia afuera y como que al comienzo no sabía cómo controlarlo, caí y ya estaba más tranquilo.
Well, he just told me that he's very happy to be back here in El Gringo, very happy to have won his 2 heats today. He has competed 2 heats. And yeah, about his best maneuver on this previous heat, he did an air rolo and got a very good score for that. So he's very, very happy. Anyone to say hi now?
¿Alguien va a saludar?
Sí, de todas maneras saludar a todas esas personas que me ayudaron para venir acá. No sabía, no tenía pensado venir acá, pero gracias a esas personas que me ayudaron, pucha, se siente bastante la energía que ellos mandan. O sea, me dijeron, cuando vayas a competir, piensa en todo el apoyo que te hemos dado y es lo que estoy haciendo hasta ahora.
So congratulations, Johnny. He's very happy, sending regards to all the people that had support him and had trust in him. Very emotional, and so well, it's amazing to see riders like this. Congratulations, and we hope to see you soon. Back to you guys.
All right, so congratulations to the winner of the last heat. So, advancing on. Look at this yellow on a nice size wave coming around that section. It looked like he was going to aim straight for the top of the wave, but it didn't. You can see the frustration right there. His timing was a little off. Red up and riding. Patrick Orr slides into the pocket. Can he come out of that? No, it looks like the foam ball just got the better of him and sucked him back into the barrel. So,
Yeah.
both of these riders very bummed out. It was Patrick Orr in red and Luis Carlos Arancibia. Unfortunately, didn't get a solid score on both of those waves.
Well, I'm sure, Manny, that they were really excited when they took off. And from even our angle, it seemed like there was massive scoring potential on both of those rides. And what ended up occurring was two, I don't know if we'd call it missed opportunities, but just a lack of scoring for either rider. So they're going to have to get back out, get back to the drawing board, as it were. And in this round 2, we do have priority, Manny. So we are working with a priority system, and that basically allows the rider and riders who have been waiting the longest to have first choice in which waves they select. So if you're the first one back out into the lineup after everyone catches a wave, then you have first pick of the next wave that comes in, and you exercise that choice by paddling for a wave. Even if you don't catch it, that is deemed as your turn. So if you paddle and don't catch it, you've used your turn and you fall down in priority.
All right, so yes, thank you once again for coming into the booth here, giving you the live feed, but up and riding, it looks like, pulling in deep. Can he come out of this little barrel? Yes, he does. That is our rider in the blue jersey, Airam Cabrera. Airam getting a nice deep barrel ride right there. The judges are going to like that. Came out clean, pulled in deep, and was able to come out of there no problem. So it's going to be interesting how the scores drop, and we are fine-tuning on our end to give you the live scores. And as you can see, the riders in the next heat making their way down to the reef. Wow, look at that thing out the back. Oh, my goodness.
That was a solid one. And even though we're showing you a very centered view of the screen, you know, the waves can break off center. So sometimes you'll see them right dead center, a nice peak come in. Sometimes you'll see a left come over further on the right-hand side of your screen, or even further on the left-hand side of your screen. Same with the rights. The right-handers could break any side of that center. Here's White up and riding now. He's getting a nice little tube, comes out clean, finds a little roll at the end before punching out Patrick Orr out the back from Hilo.
I think we were looking at some replays that went down. And yes, there's our logo, but live action. Another barrel on the the left, coming around that foam ball. And kicks out of that. So very, very cool wave exchange with the replays and the live action. So again, fine-tuning here on this side, and we are bringing you fine-tuning wave riding out the back, as well as the action keeps getting better and better as the day goes on.
And I think that's exactly right, man. The riders will be fine-tuning their approach. This is an opportunity for them not only to progress into the main event, but if they make it there, they're going to have had a test run. They're going to have competed in, a heat with some other guys. They're going to have felt how the time dwindles, whether it goes fast or slow for them. That kind of depends per competitor, per heat even, and how those rides felt, how they felt their scores came in. And there's a lot of things that it's nice to test them out. And that is why, Manny, this year, the format allows for the first round to be non-elimination of the main event of the men's. So everybody gets a test round once we're into the main event of the men's.
Yes, and that's going to be very exciting, not only for us to talk about, but also for the viewers who get a second chance to see their favorite bodyboarder go at it again if they don't make it into those top 2 spots in that first round. So very cool system. You will see your favorite riders again if they don't make it in that top 2 spots in main event round number 1. I dig it.
I dig it as well. I think all the riders do too. So we are using this new format this year, which allows a non-elimination heat to take place in the first round, and then using elimination after that. So very exciting, and we've got killer waves. Once we establish our top 8 qualifiers from the trials, we'll have the opportunity, if the waves are good, to move into the men's action or into pro juniors or women's. And we're likely to run another day of competition tomorrow, but yellow with a huge invert there. Great ride for our rider in yellow, who was Luis from Chile.
So not a bad wave right there for our rider in yellow. Nice clean invert, landing perfectly. And I heard down the beach some of the locals clapping for their very own. So this place is going to be packed come the last day of competition. This place is one of the most, I mean, it looks like an arena setup. I mean, you have a wave breaking less than 100 yards in front of you, a super giant heavy wave, and you just have hundreds of people lined up on the beach. It's pretty spectacular.
Well, we are going to have tons of people our final day, but most days of the competition, it's like school is not a factor. Kids roll out here, but Manny, today's Friday. I think that tomorrow and Sunday are going to be, as you say, packed to the gills.
Yes, and they're all going to come down to see all the action from the pro juniors, the women's pro, and the men's pro division go down. I think we're going to see a little bit of action of each one of those divisions come this weekend, so make sure you tune in. We're going to be starting, you and I have to be here at 6 a.m., but I think the start of each of the days will be around 7 a.m. local Chilean time.
So find out what that time means in your neck of the woods, and be sure you tune in with us each and every day. And if you can just get a sick note from your boss, or take some time off, or I'm not necessarily encouraging you watch this at work, but
yes, you are.
Maybe it's possible. So the next 10 days, stay tuned in, keep abreast of what's happening, the action here, and we're going to be bringing it to you. And we're live, and we're going to continue to bring you live action. And up now with
live action, yes. Nice clean roll right there. That's Renato Ariano. Ooh, trying to cut out of that and just gets caught up and ends up on the reef. All right, red dropping in, Patrick Orr.
The Hilo boy looking for a nice big Rolo clean, pulls it off. So that's his second clean Rolo maneuver of the event and of his heat so far. So he is on a roll, so to speak. So Patrick Orr, his first time in Chile, actually came down to the Tahiti event and gave it a go down there. And so it's great to see some of the young Hawaiians making a charge and showing up here on the World Tour.
Well, big thanks to the whole crew and Begonia as well. Here's a quick replay of what went down for our rider in black. That was Airam Cabrera. Slides under the pocket, quick little barrel. And that was just a clean little ride, not a high-scoring wave from Airam Cabrera. Back to the action out in the water. Look at the big old cargo ship. A major port here in Arica, not only for the fishing boats, but also a ton of cargo gets transported from here to Peru to Bolivia. It is a pretty incredible location here to be taking advantage of the unique situation that Arica has.
Yeah, definitely a solid seaport, and like you mentioned, definitely tons of cargo getting shipped up the street to Bolivia. And after one of the wars between Peru, Chile, and Bolivia, they established these borders that we have today. And Bolivia, oh man, poor guys, they got shut out of the ocean.
Oh my goodness.
Coast. So if they want cargo brought in via freighter, well, they got to bring it through either Chile or Peru, and this is one of the ports that they bring it through. Then they put it on a truck and drive it up the street to Bolivia.
Yeah, I would say you made it sound like a simple drive, but no, it's up and over this mountain range, which is in the 12,000 feet range. It's pretty massive up there, and I mean, I don't know how the drivers go from sea level straight into high altitude day in and day out. They got to be accustomed to it.
I'm sure they are, whether they use coca leaves or whether they're just totally, naturally accustomed to it after doing it for so long. But so is it farther than an hour or two, Manny, or is it within 20 minutes? Is it up the street or?
I'll tell you that in a second. As live action, it looks like a left taking off really deep. Oh, punches through the lip for a nice roll. But to pull that off, he's got to come close onto the reef.
Oh, gosh.
Ainam Cabrera pulling off a nice clean roll. Yellow. Luis Carlos up and riding.
Boy, I tell you something, Manny. The barrel was roping behind him had he gotten into that earlier.
Look at this.
And that was a nice wave, too. That was just pristine.
Yeah, I mean, we got some incredible waves coming in for this first round of trials. It's going to be very interesting to see how the women and the pro juniors are going to attack this wave when it's in the 8, 10, 12-foot face range. So it's going to be pretty fun to watch here from the Arica Chilean Challenge.
So as that heat comes to an end, we have our riders in heat number 4 starting to approach the lineup. They're going to get the heat started. These are 20-minute heats. Top 2 advancing on to round 3 of the trials. Round 3 will be our final round in the trials, because after we advance 2 from each heat, we will be able to give you the top qualifiers who will move on into the main event.
Last wave of black, 5.03.
We'll find out later.
The final situation, blue and first,
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
yellow third, and white fourth.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Arica Chilean Challenge. Manny V here with David Hubbard, and we have some crazy action going on out in this infamous wave, Flopos, on the island, the Scorpion Island here in Arica. Dub action is starting to, I mean, it's been going.
It's been going, and it's continuing to stay hot, like a ember, like a burning coal that just continues to fire up some awesome action. And in that last heat, we did see Ainam Cabrera really push through. I'm sure we're going to get a interview from Begonia here pretty soon. But into the next heat, heat number 4 of round number 2. We've got more action coming to you live.
Let's get out there. Heat number 4, we have our riders. You're going to look at Dayton Correra in white. You're going to see Victor Lopez in yellow and Luciano Baeza in the blue jersey. So it's a stacked heat with 3 Chileans going head to head. Top 2 riders will advance on. So another beautiful day here in Arica. It's kind of like, this pattern of cloudy mornings, perfect waves, and then 11, 12 o'clock comes around, sun pops out, the wind turns onshore, and it's going to be crazy pretty much the entire event. Up and riding. Oh, little early on that roll, but still pulls it off and cuts out of there before the reef comes down on him. Luciano Baeza.
Yes, we have gotten into the fourth heat of round number 2. And we are going to be continuing on through, going all the way through to round number 3. So in the very next round, we're going to be able to give you the top 2 qualifiers that will move on from each heat. That'll give us a total of 8 trialists that will be moving on into the men's main event. So we can see some of our riders making their way up the infamous stairs here at Flopos, and now gonna come back into the competition area, return their jerseys. There was, boy, a hot battle between Patrick, Renato, and Airam, as well as the Flapiano Luis. So we will be able to see 2 of those riders on into round 3. And battling for 2 slots in round 3 right now is heat number 4 out in the water. And it does look like there's a possibility that it is just a 3-man heat. So, hey, only one of them will not make it. Here's our rider in white. It was Danton Correa. And he is hoping for a little something more than what was offered, and he ended up just having to cut out on that. So we are gonna continue. There's the Flapiano, Luis Carlos, at the bottom of your screen, just exited. He was wearing yellow in the last heat. But we are waiting for a little bit more action. Once we get these trials completed and our qualifiers into the main event draw, we are going to be able to move into the men's division. And I haven't checked the forecast quite yet, but we'll see if that's going to be a waiting game or whether we're going to get right into it tomorrow. We'll see. So on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, now walking across it, is Renato Arellano, Chilean from Viña del Mar, representing down just a little suburb of Santiago, out on the coast there near Reñaca. And he's a sportsman, teacher, has a bodyboard school, just an all-around legend that's been pushing the sport of bodyboarding here in Chile for the last decade plus. He's a terrific drop knee rider, competes on the Drop Knee World Tour as well, and has been competing here at the Arica Chilean Challenge for quite some time. He's hoping to continue that trend. And we are gonna just continue to patiently wait for some more rides so we can bring you more action, as well as being a test day for the webcast. It is a trials day for the men's division, and we are going to be getting our graphics sorted, getting everything situated, so during the main event of the competition, we're going to be able to bring you the best possible production that we can. Hopefully we'll have scores and everything else necessary to give you an incredible show.
13 minutos y 53 segundos.
And just about 13 minutes left in this heat, with only a few rides ridden. Take this opportunity to thank the Ilustre Municipalidad of Arica and Tomate Surf Shop. This event is presented by Erizos Surf brand. Also sponsoring this event is Universidad de Tarapacá, Aguacielo, 360 Energy Drink, Panamericana Hotel, FM OK, and Hertz.
Grandes competidores son los que tenemos el día de hoy.
All right, I had to step out just for a second, Dove. Thanks for holding it down. And yes, we have live action again here in one of the most spectacular stops on the APB World Tour. One of my favorites for sure. I mean, it's just set up like an arena here. You got a wave that's breaking really close to shore, breaking on some pretty gnarly reef. And I mean, it's pretty hectic once these riders ride the wave in further than they should. So it's going to be pretty exciting action going on throughout the entire event. So make sure you're watching pretty much every day for the next 10 days, I believe.
Exactly. I think we're going to have plenty of action, pro juniors, women's, and men's.
Check it out. We do have the winner of the last heat with Begonia downstairs. Take it away, Begonia.
Thank you very much, guys. Airam, we saw an amazing barrel that got you in the first position on the first time, but then you remained not in the first position, and then you changed all the situation right before the horn sound. So how that feels? Vimos que estabas con un tubazo, una excelente puntuación, pero luego te mantuviste un rato en la primera posición, luego pasaste a menores posiciones y después, antes de que sonara el pito, cambiaste los resultados con un rolazo. Cuéntanos un poco acerca de todo eso.
La verdad que intenté mantener la calma porque sabía que esto es así, que puede venir la ola en cualquier momento y tienes que estar ahí preparado para cuando ella aparezca, pues intentar darlo todo. Ahí ni siquiera tenía la primera prioridad, pero el chico que tenía la primera prioridad dejó pasar la ola y yo me tiré de cabeza. La verdad que no era una ola buena y me tiré a lo loco, hacía por un rolo, que sabía que si completaba iba a conseguir la nota, y gracias a Dios cuando estaba en el canal escuché que había cambiado y que pasé a primera posición.
Well, he said he was trying to remain calm because he knows the perfect one can come, and he was waiting for that wave. And yeah, so he just found this very good wave, and right before the heat ended, and he was very happy. Only find out he passed when he was ready to go out of the water. So, bueno, estamos muy contentos por ti, Arica, te felicitamos y bueno, nada.
Muchas gracias.
Seguimos viéndote.
Un saludo para todos los amigos de Canarias, Germán, José, Carlos, y vamos para la próxima. Abrazo.
Excellent. Thank you. Congratulations back to you guys on the booth.
Congratulations once more to the Canary Island rider, big wave rider, Airam Cabrera. So the Canary Islands, the Canary Island riders love coming to this event. It just it's similar to all the heavy reef breaks that they have back home, including our last stop on the APB World Tour, Fronton.
Fronton is going to be amazing in Gran Canaria. So that's an incredible event we're looking forward to, and I'm sure Airam is as well.
Yes, these guys are pumped. They get to ride one of the best waves on the tour, and it's hectic too, because I mean, I don't want anybody else getting hurt, but that chance it's high.
Oh goodness. It is. It comes with the territory. That's why it's mandatory. There's an ambulance on site daily.
Yes.
Manny has been part of the curriculum for quite some time, and I've been in there, and they've treated me a few times, and I haven't seen the worst of it. So here we got live action, our rider in yellow.
Victor Lopez.
Victor stalling for a nice little cover up. He wants something more, throws a belly spin, and now he's going to even milk it further into Trecheria and cuts out. So cool little barrel there for Victor Lopez. So this is an all Chile battle, Batalla de los Chilenos in the water right now.
Well, the Chilenos, I mean, this is their backyard, and if they're driving up from spots like Iquique and anywhere around Chile, up and riding. Oh, a nice backflip right there. Can he pull it around? That was Dayton Correra. Oh, is he ends up on the reef. Look how shallow it is right there. Can we go back to Dayton on that camera? I mean, that's where you're going to see Dayton on the reef.
Danton was really going for it, for sure.
Let my American English accent come through. No, but Danton, sí. Danton Correra.
But a terrific backflip, and like you said, Manny, he really got washed up on the rocks. Hopefully he didn't get scratched or damage any of his equipment.
No, that's another thing. I mean, a lot of riders have different boards for these conditions. Colder water, very steep. What are most of the riders looking for as far as the optimal board in these conditions?
You know, great question, and it really does come to, preference. So one of the things let's take a look at this replay of Danton as he nice backflip there, and he kind of continues for a little bit before just getting washed right up onto those gnarly rocks. So
flexible board or stiff board? On that wave right there for Dayton. Sorry, Danton. I can't believe you're correcting my Spanish accent.
So maybe, medium to stiff range. He had great projection, and he landed pretty well, but up and riding, I think it might be Danton again. Going for a big roll. That was either Danton or Yellow Victor. Hard to see from the pulled out view, but there we see another fishing boat heading out to go collect some little fishies. So if they have a deck of cards, do you think they play Go Fish while they're going out to fish?
The chances are very high of that happening.
High as in 1 in 1 million?
Well, luckily the boys over at You Riding dumped the $5 needed to enter the Mega Millions lottery for this weekend. So thank you. I think I owe Sean, one of my colleagues, $5 for putting my $5 down for the lottery.
Thanks,
you play the lottery?
Sean. We don't have one in Hawaii at this point, but a lot of people are talking about that possibility, and they've been talking about legalizing gambling for years, but hey, let's not get into it here.
Oh, man, I hope they bring that into Hawaii along as bringing the ferry back. So out in the water, yeah, I'm just joking. All right, since we are on the first day, you know what? I'm going to hold back on my
no, let's let it all hang out this first day, and then we'll wrap it up real tight and put a bow on it the rest of the days of this Arica Chilean Challenge.
All right, so yes, this is the 2016 Arica Chilean Challenge brought to you by our friends, the Ilustre Municipalidad of Arica Tomate Surf Shop, and presented by Erizos Surf Brand.
As well as Universidad de Tarapacá, Agua Cielo 360 Energy Drink, Panamericana Hotel, FMOK, and Hertz.
Yeah, I actually rented a car from Hertz yesterday to take up into the mountains. We visited the beautiful Lago Churanga.
Wow, Churanga Lake.
It was actually pretty amazing. But I mean, we're up 12,000 feet, and every time I bent down to take a photo, a little close macro shot, I stood up and I was dizzy. It was pretty crazy.
Ooh, altitude really getting to you.
Altitude this time around got to me, but it was strange. Joanna Schecker from Portugal, she had zero problems. She was actually running around, walking around, no problems at all in altitude. And our friend and guide, Yo-Yo, he was hurting. He usually goes up there, but I think he had a cold, so he was hurting going up.
Wowzers.
Yeah. But again, I think it was the cold. We have about 4 minutes remaining in this heat number 4, round number 2. And thank you for tuning in. We're getting things rocking and rolling here from Arica.
So is it the Atacama Desert up there that you went into?
Yes, it is. And I mean, once you start to drive up, you can see just these ginormous sand dunes. And once you start going up and up into the mountain and the elevation, it still has that desert feel. I mean, in the summertime down here, guaranteed, it's probably baking. But at the top of the hill, I mean, at the lake, there was actually snow on the ground up there, so it was pretty amazing.
Wowzers. That's unreal.
Alpacas cruising around, flamingos, llamas, some beautiful animals.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Cool. All right, we got our rider, Luciano. He's up and riding. Beza out the back. So short ride for another Chilean, Luciano. So wow, what an awesome little mission. It is such a terrific area we're in. Not only this coastline that goes for, I think, half a K or 2Ks, or is it 8,000 kilometers Chile has of coastline? Something ridiculous. Anyways, besides the coastline, terrific highlands, and is it the Andes Mountains that we have?
Yes, it is. The Andes Mountains is where you go up to the top, and it's spectacular. I mean, there was a bunch of photos that were posted of a lot of the riders coming into Santiago, Chile, from Brazil, and the photos from the view of the airplane down onto the Andes were pretty spectacular. But this whole region, I mean, you got Patagonia at the very bottom of Chile, and here we are at the northern border with Peru, and it's just incredible. This whole landscape is amazing. So that more on the landscapes and beautiful scenery here in Arica, but out in the water, we are going to get you the situation as soon as we get dialed in here with our scores and the scores for you down from watching live.
Yeah, one situation with animals out there in the water is that there's sea otters, there's seals. Is there any turtles, Manny?
Well, a matter of fact, there are sea turtles just around the corner here at this separate point. And yeah, I mean, in the summertime, there's just hundreds and hundreds of turtles that roam the surf line. And if you're not careful and you're out there bodyboarding, surfing, longboarding, SUPing, you may, have them join you in the lineup for sure.
So plenty of wildlife in and out of the water, supposedly, since Manny saw flamingos and alpacas and llamas.
It was pretty insane.
Up in the mountains, and we can see seals, we can see sea otters, plenty of birds, even dancing and playing around. We just got a terrific coastline. So we did touch on a little bit before, Manny, but it's just a touch inconsistent today. When the waves come in, they are awesome, but it does look like the final opportunity for points in this heat is on screen. A Rolo from our rider, Luciano. And this ride is after the horn, it won't count. It's a closeout roll for our rider, Danton, previously known as Dayton. And he's going to be making his way in. And that is the end of heat number 4. Heat number 5 coming up right after this commercial break.
Welcome back, everybody. Manny V here with David Hubbard, bringing you the live feed from the Arica Chilean Challenge here in the island of Alacran, Scorpion Island. All right, so we're moving right along through the trials. We're going to see rounds 1 has already been finished. Rounds 2 and 3 will finish off today's action. Round 2 currently out in the water, heat number 5. And who do we got?
We've got Gonzalo Pinheiro from Portugal, Abner de Arce from Puerto Rico, Francisco Alvarado de Chile, and Isaac Palacios from Chile as well. So I think we have at least one Flapiano. That's what they call the locals here. I think we have at least one here in this heat right now.
I believe so. I mean, I can hear whistling and cheering on the shoreline. So they come out in droves here, especially on the first day, and we're going to see it just increase throughout the entire event. I mean, this place is the perfect venue to have an event. I mean, the wave breaks 100 yards out, crashes on the shallow reef, and viewers can, be right on the wall within almost reaching distance of the riders. So here's the heat currently out in the water. And that's pretty much it for heat number 2. Sorry, heat number 5, round number 2.
Oh, looks like Isaac might be from the Canary Islands on this. So apologies for the mix-up. Wherever he's from, he's gonna be representing that place with some force.
Yeah, I think everybody has to come out here with some force because. You know what? This is it. This could be the end of the road for a lot of the riders. We're looking for the top 8 riders in the trials to advance into the main event, and that's where you want to start your real campaign. I'm not saying now, but you want to get to those top 8 spots to get into the main event. That's where the showdown begins.
Certainly is. That's where we will see the top 30 of the APB. We're going to see some wild cards, and we're going to see those trialists. We're going to see them first in a non-elimination heat in round 1. Then we're going to be seeing them continue on through the rounds all the way to the finals. We're also going to see, Manny, the women and the pro juniors take a nudge at this incredible venue of Flopos. So it's going to be the second year for the women's division, but I think it's the first year that we're having pro juniors here in Arica.
Arica always delivers the goods. It's probably one of the most consistent breaks that we go to. I mean, every day it may be in that 6, 7, 8 foot face waves, and then you may have waves that are going to be in the 14, 12 foot face waves as well. I mean, it's incredible here. How does it happen?
It's amazing. This place is a magnet. The South Pacific is quite active. Chile, with this coastline, it's very compact. Manny, how you mentioned that you had driven up to like 300,000 feet yesterday or whatever it was.
Pretty close.
Within a matter of hours from the coastlines. But touching on that, here is our rider in red.
Oh, nice ARS. Can he pull it around? Digs the tail of his board on the landing, but somehow just muscles his way around. And a nice, clean roll from Gonzalo Pinheiro from Portugal. That was amazing. Taking a look right now. Nope, pulling back. So, again, shout out to everybody for tuning in. Manny V and David Hubbard will be bringing you the live feed along with Begonia with the interviews downstairs. And we're going to have some of the riders come in and out of the booth to, fill in some quality time and give us that firsthand point of view of being out in the water here in Flopos.
Yes, that's exactly right, because we do get such a great little glimpse from those terrific interviews that Begonia is delivering us, but sometimes we want to get a little bit more in depth and we want to spend a little bit more quality time, so we will be bringing in some of the riders into the booth. And if we'd like to start a new social media column, just start telling us which rider you want to see here in the booth commentating with us, and we'll do our best to bring him in. The the most comments for the rider, we'll contact that person, try to get him in the booth.
That's not a bad idea. I like it. Look at this thing coming in out the back, just pouncing in on the shallow reef. Oh my goodness. So yeah, it's pouncing. It's coming in. I mean, man, I'm telling you, I don't know how to describe it. One of the things I recommend to all the viewers, save your money. You got PTO, you got paid time off. I highly suggest coming to an APB World Tour event and just see how this event looks live and direct and with your own two eyes. It's pretty awesome. You get to go talk to all the pro bodyboarders. All of them are very approachable, and you may even get a secret session with them when they head off to these little secret spots around town. You never know.
You never know. Manny putting out the invitation. One of the riders who did take up that invitation and is going to be making a charge in the main event of the men's competition, Garth McGregor. He's come all the way from Newcastle, Australia, and he has competed in Pipeline and Tahiti this year. The community supporting him there in Newcastle, getting right behind the big fella, and he is here in Arica, and that was kind of something he was mentioning, Manny, about just, it was kind of surreal, you know. He was way away from home, and he had to put aside the the little differences of not being in your local zone and being comfortable, but really take it all in.
Have you seen him?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yesterday, had some great chats with him and just absorb what it is like to be in this place. If you've been a bodyboarder for any amount of time, you've probably tuned in years past. At least you've seen the highlights and the event winners for sure. But, you know, this is an iconic destination, an iconic venue to have the Arica Chilean Challenge year after year.
Well, guess what? You know what? I'm going to put something on the APB the APB Tour Facebook page right now. If there's a rider you really want to see come into the hot seat here in the booth, drop us their name under this post right now. I'm going to say, who do you want to see in the hot seat?
And a rider in yellow. This does look like the Flapiano Rappo, and he goes up, gets a nice roll there. There was a nice spinner as well. It was his birthday yesterday. I was privileged to be invited there, and it was just packed full of Flopianos. He runs a sushi shop here in town, Aloha Sushi, with his wife Camila, and they just had a beautiful new baby. And so our rider Francisco Alvarado, also known as Rappo, even gave me the shirt I'm wearing now. So here is Cristo de Paz.
He's high, set up above El Moro. I don't know if we can pull back a little bit, get a wide shot of this, but man, it is spectacular. The cliff right below, and we'll get another shot of that. But yeah, it's pretty amazing area here in Arica.
And a tremendous story behind that large statue. We'll get into it later. Here's up and riding Gonzalo. He's looking for a vicious Rolo, lands in the barrel, and that was a pretty wicked attempt there from Gonzalo, and looks like he got stuck in the energy of the wave for ages. And yeah, what a wonderful place to be bringing you such a high quality tour event. 4 stars, Manny. 8,000 points up for grabs. After that last event in Brazil, we did see the leaderboard starting to take shape, and some riders really leading up to the top. And it is Jeff Hubbard sitting in first place, Alex Udonga in second, PLC in third position. So Jeff, Alex, and PLC within 1,000 points of each other. And then, Manny, a massive drop between 4th, 5th, 6th, and all the way through 9th place are, in the 5,000 or 6,000 point range. But it's Jeff, Alex, and Pierre in the 9,000 and 10,000 range.
This is a look at who is currently out in the water right now. Heat number 5, round number 2. And we were talking about the leaderboard. If you want to check out the leaderboard, now's a good time to go to apbtour.com, and you'll see the links up top. Leaderboard, and that's where you're going to see the whole list of where we currently are on the tour. And yes, that big win from Alex Uranga in the last event in the Itacoachara Pro definitely helped him for the fight for a world championship title. Alex Uranga, he does not have one yet. How hungry do you have to be to get one?
A world title? Super hungry. Starving. Emaciated. And just to get the drive going, just to have the mental stamina to put up with the pressures of that hunt, just uber critical. Here we got White muscling his way into this one. This is the Puerto Rican Abner, I would say, putting a nice roll on that really difficult section, and I hope he watched his head when it cut out. Out on this right-hander is Isaac.
Isaac pulling around that section, setting it up nice and clean. A little bumpy, but he's trying to look for that lip maneuver, and the wave just disappears from him. You can see the frustration right there hitting his board, and he knew that he had his chance. Roll away.
Here's Rapo looking for a big aerial maneuver. Nice invert from the Flopiano. Rapo expressing his excitement from completing that ride and likely taking the lead, because I think that was the move of the heat. Manny, what do you think?
I thought that was a very clean face, and he took advantage of that lip once it appeared. Didn't waste any time. Nice clean bottom turn, did a big invert. The crowd went wild. They were cheering and clapping for their very own rider, homeboy.
Rapo, a new father.
All right, check this out. We do have the interview ready downstairs with Begonia, the winner of the last heat. Take it away, Begonia.
Thank you, guys. So for those of you that don't know this back home, Toto here, Victor, he's the director of one of the best bodyboarding schools back in Iquique, and he's also a teacher on this. The school belongs to the University Arturo Prat, and he's also a teacher there. So Toto, how do you feel coming from Iquique here, competing in a World Tour event, being a teacher, and how's that feeling to bring back to your students en Iquique? ¿Cómo te sientes siendo profesor, siendo director de una escuela importante de bodyboard de Iquique, pasando de primero en un evento internacional, en un evento mundial como este? Cuéntanos.
Bueno, primero que nada me siento súper contento. He entrenado mucho, he estado en la escuela trabajando duro para lograr lo que estamos logrando. Y nada, pues súper agradecido de Dios primero que nada, de nuestros auspiciadores como escuela, y de la gente que me ha apoyado para poder lograr esta ida hacia acá, porque me ha costado mucho llegar a esto. Hemos luchado bastante en la universidad para lograr que el bodyboard sea una rama deportiva en nuestra universidad, y hoy por hoy esto se está convirtiendo en realidad. Tenemos competidores a nivel internacional. Logré un primer lugar increíble contra competidores súper fuertes, y nada, la ola acá es espectacular. Se ha complicado un poco, pero estoy súper contento y quiero mandarle un saludo a mi familia, en especial a mi madre, a mi padre, a mis tíos que me han apoyado, y a mi polola que está súper lejos, que quiero mandarle un saludo súper grande, que la extraño, la he hecho mucho de menos, y esto se lo dedico a ella.
Oh, that's so sweet. So, well, to translate a little bit, he's very happy to have earned this first place right here in El Gringo, and because he has fought very hard to be here and to achieve these kind of things. And well, he just wanted to let her girlfriend to know that he misses her a lot. So, congratulations, Toto. We hope to see you back here, and yeah, just enjoy. Back to you guys.
All right, well, congratulations. Another great interview from downstairs. And yes, I mean, We're going to see a lot of Spanish speakers throughout the trials. Most of them are from around this area in Chile, Peru, and they all speak Spanish. So great to have Begonia translating for us in the interviews.
Certainly is, and just a wonderful opportunity to get a little glimpse into these riders that are progressing on through the trials. And the winners of these heats are going to be sitting into the next round. Round number 3 will be the final round of the trials. First and second place from round number 3 will qualify into the men's main event.
All right, check this out. We have a replay, just another look at our rider in red coming around that section. Nice clean bottom turn, pulls into that barrel and shuts down on him. And here's another look at yellow.
Here's Rappo coming way down the line. I think this was maybe during the interview, but he's able to find a nice Rolo. There's I'm going to be bold and say our heat leader, Rappo, with a nice inward and Rolo on the last wave. Those moves are what is counting on his scorecard. So that's a little bit of what happened during the interview. And now back to live action. Here we are at the infamous Flopos at Ex Isla Alacran. In the water we have a Portuguese, a Puerto Rican, and 2 Chileans going at it, fighting for 2 slots in the next round of competition. And in that, if they make it into round 3, they're going to have to be in the top 2 slots again to be a qualifier into the men's main event.
And that's where you want to be. The main event is where you get a chance to face off with some of the best bodyboarders in the world. Actually, all the best bodyboarders in the world standing by in the main event, kicking into this one.
Here he is, Abner de Arce, the Puerto Rican, fighting for one of those top slots. And he gets a nice roll off. So the young gun, the Puerto Rican, Abner de Arce, dangerously close to the inside section now. He's scrambling to get off that little shelf while we see waves peel in the background and our competitors scrambling into position on this one. Look at this smoker, and here he is, El Flapiano. Rappo. Here he's looking for a section and he's waiting. He's playing that waiting game, Manny, and now he's flying into that inside section. Is able to hop a few times off all these chops, and now he is gonna just, I don't know, is he coming in? Francisco Alvarado could be catching this wave in.
All right, look at these waves marching in from the outside. Again, we are bringing you the live feed, the trials. Oh yeah, look at this. Now we will bring you the scores from, perfect, thank you.
Here we do have our heat leader, Rappo, the Flapiano, Francisco Alvarado, in first place. Second place is the Puerto Rican, Abner de Arce. Third place is this rider, Gonzalo Piñero. He needs this effort. He needs 5.18 on this wave, Manny, and he gets shut down.
Oh, my goodness. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for Gonzalo Piñero from Portugal. So, again, round 2, heat number 5 has finished off, and it looks like Francisco Alvarado in the yellow jersey. It will be the one advancing on from this heat. All right, yes, we're setting up our little table here, making sure everything's nice and ready to rock and roll. Oh, no. So, you know what? We're going to come back with the next heat. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
Atención. Tenemos a rojo y blanco. Rojo hacia la izquierda, tremenda ola. Blanco continúa en la derecha.
I feel like I'm gonna drop real soon. My mind's a hurting, I'm over the moon. Voices sagging out and losing the pace. It's the way you feel, man, not the way you take. Rebel, rebel, I see you with your gun.
Welcome back, everybody. Manny B here with David Hubbard, and we are pushing through the trials here at Flopos on the Scorpion Island, just outside of Arica, Chile. So far, so good.
So far, so good, and so far, so good for Union Flopos. El Flapiano Rapo making it on from that last heat. So Flapiano staying alive. They are the local riders of this infamous wave, and so we're hoping to have some into the main event.
All right, so now heat number 6, I believe, is out in the water. Let's get to the action. So let's start off from the top, out in the water. We have in the blue jersey, Ricardo Januario. And in the white jersey, Daniel Quintana. In red, Jeff Denui. And in the yellow jersey,
Michael Pascal.
There it is. Heat number 6. Round number 2, currently out in the water.
So again, let's go ahead and thank the event sponsors. This 2016 Arica Chilean Challenge brought to you by Ilustre Municipalidad of Arica Tomate Surf Shop and is being presented by Arizo's Surf Brand. Also, Universidad de Tarapacá, Agua Cielo, 360 Energy Drink, Panamericana Hotel FM, OK, and Hertz Rent-A-Car. So, out in the water, the situation is first place being held by the Brazilian Ricardo Januario. And second place being held by Michael Pascal from Chile. Daniel Quintana from the Canaries, and currently sitting in fourth place, Jean-François Denoy, Jeff Denoy. Just one ride for each of our riders at this point, and so we are looking to give you more action as it continues. But so far, our riders taking advantage of the situation with just a small ride each, but it's Ricardo Januario with a pretty decent opening score.
So, got a couple questions from a couple viewers. How cold is the water, and is the reef really that dangerous?
The reef is really that dangerous, I'll say. And the water is a really nice temperature. Of course, you're going to need a full suit, but it was very comfortable. I was in a 4.3 yesterday, and I was super comfortable. Look at this one. It is a rider. Ricardo looking for a big roll there, and he approaches the rest of the wave with excitement before cutting out. So a 2.3 is totally usable here, and we're experiencing at this point tremendous weather because typically it can get pretty cold. Here's our rider in yellow. This is Michael Pascal.
Yes.
Chapsy getting shacked on the inside, and he makes it. The Flapianos are going wild as Union Flopos Bodyboard Club is backing this guy, but Jeff Benoit, the Frenchman, up on this one, looking for a smooth pocket ride before eyeing down the beach and then darting back out into the lineup.
All right. Well, out of that wave exchange, of course, it was Pascal in the yellow jersey pulling in deep and coming out of that long barrel. I did not expect that thing to stay open, let alone wide enough for that rider to come out of that wave. So solid wave right there for yellow, the Chilean, Michael Pascal. Whoa. Yes. I don't know if that's the sand still swirling around in the air, but when we were coming into Arica a few days ago, there was a serious sandstorm. A lot of the locals said they've never seen anything like this for a long time. A lot of riders had to fly into Peru, which is hours away, and now I mean, there is still sand swirling around in the air here, so I don't know if that got the best of you right there, Dub. But,
Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, my goodness. So, yes, welcome back, everybody. Again, we're going to have live scores for you come tomorrow as we come to the day's end here. We're going to make sure that everything is ready to rock and roll for our Pro Juniors, women's and main event in the men's division. So, thank you for staying tuned and watching from Scorpion Island, Isla del Alacrán.
And what a beautiful place this is. Before there was a little jetty road bridge, this island was often inhabited by pirates, from what I've heard. And there is a series of bunkers that are still kind of, remnants of a former time. There is a lighthouse here on the island to warn ocean goers of the pending danger of not only the massive radical waves we have, but of the treacherous rocks. And as we mentioned, some of our riders getting shipwrecked. It can happen.
All right, this is it. We are in the trials. Heat number 6 out in the water. Round number 2. We're going to go into round number 3, where we're going to see 4 heats, and we're looking for the top 8 riders who will take those very exclusive spots in the main event. Manny V again with David Hubbard bringing you the live feed. These are 20-minute heats. Top 2 waves will be scored, and the sum of those 2 waves will give you a total score, highest score that advances on in first and second place.
And currently, it is Chatti, the Flapiano, Michael Pascal in first place. And in second place, it is Ricardo Januario.
All right, so right now it looks like Jeff Denoué. He needs an 11.53 to advance, which means he needs a whole new set of top 2 scoring waves. Danielle Quintana, the Canary Island rider, needs a 6.53 to get into that second place spot. Ricardo, if he wants the lead, he needs a 6.24. And right now, Michael Pascal in yellow is leading by 1.13. Looking out the back. Look at the conditions, still incredible here in Flopos.
Yeah, we still got really nice conditions, Manny, as the afternoon just starts to tick across here in northern Chile, in the city of Arica. It's about 1:30 local time, and so take note of the time in your area, because we will be starting most of the rest of the days of the waiting period, if not all of them, at 7 a.m. sharp to take advantage of these terrific conditions that happen in the first half of the day. It's almost always smooth surface.
It's crazy. It's like clockwork. I mean, come midday, sun pops out, it seems like just everything just turns around. Sun is out, but the winds come in, and usually in not the most favorable direction on shore.
Exactly. So interesting, because there is wind blowing now, but it doesn't seem to be affecting the water surface much. We showed up this morning, and there was there was a breeze blowing, so it wasn't completely still, which is normally the conditions that make glass. We say glass or glassy conditions to describe the surface of the water. Once there's texture on it, then it's not as glassy, we say. But there is a little breeze, and it's still glassy out here, and it is magnificent, and it is just fascinating how consistent these conditions occur.
Yeah, this place is definitely magical here at the end of the road leading to Scorpion Island. Were there scorpions here before? I haven't seen one yet on the island.
And I hope we don't see many out in the water, because we also call scorpions a maneuver when a rider tries to land a maneuver on his chest and then his legs go over the back of his head and touches. Oh gosh, the scorpion. It's one of the most dreaded features possible, and it can be a career ender at times, and it definitely cause injury. Sometimes people can surface unscathed. Here we have a ride.
All right, looks like our rider in white, Daniel Quintana from the Canary Islands, coming around this section. Is it going to shape up for him? And here it comes. This could be the last part where he'll be able to do a maneuver, and it's starting to peter out on him. That's when it starts getting choppy right there. That is going to be your last chance to do something, and there it is. It just runs away from him. Daniel Quintana in white was looking for a 6.53 and didn't get it on that one.
I don't think he'll get it, Manny, in 2016.
Oh.
Here's Ricardo Januario getting a carve at the top before exiting the wave. So back to the ride of white. You know, if this was the late 70s, early 80s, he would have got it for length of ride.
Yes.
That used to be part of the scoring criteria in wave riding competitions.
So that just goes to show how far we have gone. Now it's all about deep barrels and big maneuvers, especially here at Flopos.
Especially here at Flopos. We're going to see riders kind of ride the pocket and just get ignored. And then we're going to see guys take risks, get deep shacks, and just get huge numbers. And we've got solid waves that are coming in. Once again, conditions for today. It's about 8 to 10 feet. Maybe at this point a little bit slower. 6 to 10 with a couple 12-foot sets. But and that is on the wave face. That is the frontal vision. Whoa, Jeff Denois scooping in.
Oh,
if he can make it out of this barrel, he would have gotten a big score, Manny, but he just came undone. Judges are going to take note of the travel time because he scooped in and made it through that whole deep section before getting topsy-turvied, flipped upside down. And wow, that'll be something for the highlight reel tonight.
Oh man, he was just right there. The door was open. He probably got a little chop when the wave broke and penetrated the flat part of the water, and that little bump right there in the road sent him off his board, and he was so close, Jeff Denui.
So close yet so far, because now, Manny, we're under 6 minutes remaining in this heat, and he is still in 4th position. Pascal and Januario still in 1st and 2nd. Quintana needs that 6.53 that he was seeking ever so painfully after on the last trim sesh. So he will be trying to get back out to the lineup and hoping to etch his way up through the priority sequence to get himself a ride before this heat ticks on down.
All right, just to bring you up to speed, we are running through the entire trials here in the Arica Chilean Challenge. Rounds 1 has been completed. We are in the middle, coming to the close of round number 2, and then we're going to go into round number 3, where we have, I believe, 8 heats. 4 heats, I believe. Yeah, 4 heats. And out of those 4 heats, the top 8 will advance on to the main event. So we have around 2 more hours of competition in the live broadcast here Thank you very much, Dave Hubbard, for pointing that out and calculating those numbers with that miracle brain you have. Round number 2, heat number 6 out in the water. So we have a couple more heats in round number 2, and then we're going to go straight into round number 3.
So a terrific opening day here at the Arica Chilean Challenge 2016. Getting through the men's trials, Manny, because we want to be into the main event of all 3 divisions for the rest of the waiting period. So we want to be able to bring you the best action possible for the best conditions that will suit each division. So we're going to be looking for optimal conditions for each of the 3 divisions. And I think there is a slight difference in the best conditions for each of those. So hopefully on the days that we are presented, it will be perfect for each of those divisions, and we'll be able to bring you just the best action as all our competitors are eager to take on El Flopos.
And once this is all dialed in after today, you're going to be able to follow along. Look at this, streaking down the line, getting as much speed as possible, trimming, as you can see him going up and down in the face of the wave. Wow, nice full extended projected roll right there from our rider in blue, Ricardo
Januario
from Brazil.
And he's out the back. Nice roll there. He needs a 6.24 to move into first place, Manny. Not totally sure if he's going to get all the way up to that point scale. But tell you what, he is going to be putting more pressure on Daniel Quintana as well as Jeff Denois, who is sitting right now in 4th position. Jeff had an opening session out at Flopos, and yes, there is just about 2.5 minutes remaining. But yeah, that opening session he had out there was just such an intense situation for him, and I'm sure if we ever get him on an interview, he will give us a rundown of what that was like. Because, you know, it's great to hear from riders what their experience is out at this wave. It's so powerful, it's so intense, and for someone who first comes here, I'll tell you, man, a couple days ago, it was about 20-foot faces. Here we have Chati, Michael Pascal, going up and out. So, terrific opportunity to see. Oh, here we have our rider in white, Alex Quintana, who's looking, Daniel Quintana, sorry. Alex is a good buddy of mine, but Daniel going for it. He's just got a minute left.
Oh, yellow coming around that section. Does he have enough speed? No. He looks back and knows that it wasn't enough speed to get around that section, and the wave just shut down.
All right, just a few seconds left of this heat, and there's still waves coming in out the back. We see our next heat getting ready to roll. And boy, when a smoker like that comes in, it is pretty tough to be in position.
Less than a minute to go. Now it is Daniel Quintana and Jeff Denui who have to dig deep and find those higher scoring waves. 6.53 for Danielle, 9.53. Oh my goodness. It sounds like, yeah, looks like that is the end of the road. Michael Pascal. I just want to make sure the scores have completely dropped. So you know what? We're going to come back with the official results right after this. We'll be right back.
My mind's hurting, I'm over the moon. Pulses sagging out, losing the pace. It's the way you feel, man, now the way you taste. Rebel, rebel, I see you with your gun.
Welcome back, everybody. Manny V here with David Hubbard. We're having a good time in the booth, but it's the competitors who are having a very tough time trying to figure out which wave is going to give them the best scores. With barrel rides and big maneuvers, everybody has to be in top form here in the trials of the men's division.
That's right, and it's a great opportunity for the locals of this break to show their prowess and their local wave knowledge. Union Flopos, the bodyboarding club here, pushing another rider through into round number 3. Chati from the previous heat making it through. And hey, Manny, in this next heat, it's an all Chilean battle.
Yes, so let's get into the action right now for heat number 7, round number 2. Out in the water, who do we got?
We've got Diego Torres, Christian Tapia, Jonathan Chaparro, and Kenny Johnson. All these riders from Chile, various parts of the country, and so they will be putting on a regional battle here at the Arica Chilean Challenge.
Yes, the event brought to you by the Ilustre Municipalidad de Arica, and up and riding right now, coming around that section, Diego Berrios. Now he's looking all about that last section, hitting the brakes. You see him dragging his legs, slowing down, trying to wait for that section to roll up. And again, once you get further down on the right, it's going to be iffy if a lip will form up for you. So you're taking a chance riding the wave further down, because that paddle back out from the right, you're going against the current. You got a ton of distance to cover, and that's just chipping away at your time. But if you do get it right and you do pull off a maneuver on the outside and make it to that inside section with another maneuver, of course, yeah, you're going to get a higher scoring wave.
We've seen some big scores come from the rights. And another thing about those long rides, you're almost guaranteed to start hitting massive bumps that send you airborne, because it does get bumpy and the lips are less hittable, I'd say, down there. So here's a view of the left-hander out at Flopos. Beautiful barrel before a little bit of a closeout section. And so we're still waiting for the situation to evolve here, but the only one with a ride, or a score, I should say, at this point is Christian Tapia.
15 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in this heat. So again, we have one more heat in round number 2. We're going to jump right into the 4 heats of round number 3 to finish off today's action. We are going to finish with the trials in the men's division today. Let me tell you, it's a tough battle for these competitors to get those top 8 spots.
Yes, some will have battled all the way from round 1, surfing 3 heats today, but I don't think they're too bummed about that, because they've been able to surf upwards of an hour. For those who are going to be surfing rounds 1, 2, and 3, to qualify, they'll have surfed 1 hour with only 3 other homeboys out in the lineup.
That alone is worth the entry fee in my book. I mean, same thing happened when I competed in pipe. You're out there with a handful of people, and it's the same effect here at Flopos. Here we go, dropping in.
Jonathan looking for something here. He edges around the section, classy hair whip. Now he finds a lofty bump off the back, and that's all for him.
Kenny Johnson dropping in on this one. Is he going to hit the lip? Yes, he does. Goes for a big roll right there, but too much projection for him to handle. Holding on tight, but Kenny Johnson tries to land that thing. His momentum was off just a little bit, but not a completed maneuver for Kenny Johnson. Is that a typical Chilean name?
Oh, well, I guess in some ways, yes, but in some ways, no.
Thank you.
but a classy name for sure. Almost, who's the wonderful saxophone player?
Kenny G.
Kenny G. Kenny G. You're right, Kenny G. So I guess possibly of relation to Kenny Hota.
Maybe.
Jota is the letter in Spanish for J, right?
See.
Kenny Jota. Let's call him that the rest of the heat.
All right, done. All right, let's take another look at what went down with Jonathan Chaparro's last wave.
All right, here we saw him do a lot of trimming, hair flicking, and then eventually cut out.
Oh my goodness. All right, we're going to have to send a word out to the replay guys to show solid waves.
Kenny Jota.
Oh, right there he goes. His body wasn't really projected in the way that he was hoping for. In fact, it was just a little bit too horizontal. So when he landed, he wasn't moving in the direction of the way he was projected. So his body and board didn't land properly and lost the wave.
As well as the lip landing right behind him detonating.
That definitely
as
didn't
well.
help.
But also, the replay guys did get a word from the saxophone gist, because during the replay you did hear a terrific riff, possibly from Kenny Jota or Kenny G, but now we have up and riding small left-hander.
There we go.
Jonathan Chaparro throwing a spin at the end of that just for good measure. And
you can see the wave at the end right there as he cut out,
so
just
shallow,
surging onto the reef.
So shallow.
No, this place is intense, especially when it gets a little bigger. I mean, the reef is right on your. You just got to be careful. But check this out. We have the winner of the last heat with Begonia. Take it away, Begonia.
Thank you, guys. We're here with Michael Pascal, better known as Chucky, a local rider from Iquique, but he lived here for 8 years, so he knows very well the wave. Chucky, Michael, pues. Viviste aquí 8 años, te conoces bien la ola, pero estamos escuchando de varios riders que está difícil la ola. Cuéntanos un poco acerca de tu hit y cómo fueron tus puntuaciones y tus olas.
Bueno, viví 8 años acá en Arica, llevo compitiendo este campeonato casi 4 años y en verdad la ola está bien difícil, complicado, no está tan fácil para los riders y bueno, pude obtener un par de olas buenas en mis 2 hits que tuve, que saqué primero y nada, súper contento con todo este evento, que es el evento más grande que se da acá en Chile. Sí, feliz, súper feliz.
Well, he's saying that yes, he lived here for 8 years and he knows the way, but right today it's actually very tricky. It's not so easy to find the good one and the good ramp, even though it looks very good. But yeah, he's very happy that he found good waves, and yeah, it's extremely happy. So congratulations, Michael, felicitaciones, y espero que nos te volvamos a ver aquí en los próximos hits. Back to you guys.
Congratulations, and another incredible interview with the winner of the last heat in Begonia. So we're moving right along. Heat number 7 out in the water with 10 minutes remaining. Again, these are 20-minute heats. Priority system is in effect, and these are the men's trials. We're looking for the top 8 riders today. Here we go.
We've got Kevin Torres, Diego Torres with a beautiful roll.
Nice.
Man. That was with the lip, critical, solid, very well positioned on the wave, and he rolls it again. Lots of control displayed by Kevin. I wouldn't be surprised if we can expect a very large number for the last ride of a rider in red.
Woo, 10 minutes, 10-minute mark. They're at the halfway point, and now it's for Diego and Kenny, it's an uphill battle. Jonathan? Actually, here we go. Up and riding is Jonathan Chaparro. Oh!
Current heat leader, he's going to straighten out and dive out on this one. But during the interview, it was great. It was Chucky, not Chati, so I had that incorrect, as well as I forgot to say honorary Flapiano because he is from Iquique. So great corrections from Begonia on that, because terrific to have that rider from Iquique moving on. Here we have in white. Looking for
nice.
A nice roll that happened during the interview.
Yeah, that was Christian Tapia in the white jersey. Big extended roll. So that's going to help him in his quest for those first and second spots. Again, top 2 riders will advance on into round number 3, and it's round number 3 where we're going to find our top 8 riders who will advance on to the main event here at the Arica Chilean Challenge, brought to you by the Ilustre Municipalidad of Arica Tomate Surf Shop, presented by Erizo's Surf brand. The first day of the live broadcast. From this point on, it's going to be a battle for that first place win for the Pro Juniors, the Women's Pro, and the Men's Pro here at the infamous wave on the Scorpion Island, Flopos.
Ex Isla Alacran. This
Yes.
is a legendary venue. We have our froth beards on because we are so stoked to be here. The Arica Chilean Challenge, such a staple on the World Tour, now becoming a staple on the Pro Junior and Women's World Tour, Manny.
No, I mean, this place is going to make a lot of decisions are going to help at the end with who's on the leaderboard, where are you situated, who's got the best shot at a world title in each one of those categories, and we're going to find out at the end of this race. Here we go, up and riding.
Oh, and he cuts out aggressively. That could have been Diego Berrios. He did get a 7.6 on that double roll 2-piece, and it is Christian Tapia with the set of consistent scores, putting him in first position, and everybody's within reach of our rider in first place, Christian Tapia. He did get second place in the Pro Junior division at Itacoatiara. Now he's in the men's trials, trying to make his way into the men's main event, and hopefully is competing with in both divisions. We'd love to see him compete in both divisions, and we are just so stoked to have tuning in live. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, as well as everybody who's staying up late or waking up real early to tune in. And I would just encourage that kind of behavior as we move on into the divisions later on in this waiting period, because we are going to be able to bring you incredible, unforgettable, unstoppable, occasionally at times indescribable amounts of action. But we're going to do our best to make the call. Manny V here and myself, Dub0. You can find me on Instagram.
Yes, follow him on Instagram and you'll see all of his incredible posts. Here we go. Out the back, dropping in or coming around that section. Doesn't look like it's shaping up to be much for our rider in yellow, but finds in the section, goes for a roll. But look where he's at right there. The rocks are right underneath him. He's just holding onto his board for protection. Take it. And on the inside, Kenny Johnson. Oh, a nice roll. Lands, and he goes under right there.
Bucked.
It's just surging onto the reef right there. Oh, my goodness.
With the tide change, that is what's occurring. We're going to have another ride here from Christian Tapia. He scoots into this left and quickly gets out of it. We're going to let these scores settle, but we may have an interview coming up soon. We did miss an interview with Rapo Francisco Alvarado, so he is with Begonia. As we're getting that set up, he's getting his baby nice and comfortable because it will be air time for that baby. The very first time for it to be on the air.
I think we're ready. Begonia, go for it. Take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. And we're here with Francisco Alvarado, also known as El Rapo. We missed his interview. He won the Heat 5 in the second round, and we wanted to have an interview with him because he's a very special and very special person and a key person here in El Gringo. He's a local for many years. He runs a club, Unión Flopos. So, yeah, we're very happy to have you here. Rapo, sabemos de tu trayectoria, eres uno de los más locales de la ola. Tienes tu club ahora, el Unión Flopo. Está aquí con su pequeño hijo Gaspar, que recién nacido de 2 meses. Cuéntanos un poco acerca de tu experiencia en el agua y cómo se siente estar en tu ola, en tu casa, ganando, avanzando rondas.
Nada, feliz por tener a mi guatón que me viene a ver el primer campeonato. Y nada, agradecido de que la ola pagó como siempre, así que feliz de haber avanzado mis 2 hits primero, ya el segundo con más importancia, esperando el tercero y saludo a mis amigos que son del Club Unión Flopo apoyando siempre, representando a la gente local.
Oh, he's very, very happy. First of all, because he's newborn, only 2 months, little Gaspar here. It's the first time that he comes to watch Daddy on a competition, so he found very good ways, and Flopos is behaving the way they expected. And yeah, he's very, very happy. Cuéntanos un poco acerca del trabajo del club Unión Flopo. Cuéntanos un poco sobre los proyectos, las perspectivas que ustedes tienen acá con su ola.
Bueno, el club se formó a principios del año pasado, pero estuvimos siempre pensando en el local, en realidad, el rider. Un club pensado en el rider, que siempre pasa que lo dejan de lado al local o como ustedes ven, de repente llegan acá a la isla y no hay nada, así que como que nuestro club está enfocado en apoyar a nuestros corredores y cuidar el medio ambiente, que es nuestro entorno en general, que estamos siempre todos los días acá. Así que eso es como nuestro... Después más adelante ir apoyando a riders locales como Kevin, Diego, que también están emergiendo, así que esa es la idea del club, que formado en esa perspectiva, pues, no de acuerdo con otros clubes, y que nuestro club va enfocado en eso, y que mejor acá formarse acá en la ola del Flopo, así que mejor escuela y feliz, así que...
Well, excellent. I asked him a little bit about the projects and the plans for the club he's running, which is Unión Flopos. He says it was actually oriented to help improve the area where they always come here and serve, and to help the locals, the people that daily serve here, and that sometimes it's a put aside. So they have big plans for locals and for the area, the Isla La Gran, and that's excellent. I personally would like to congratulate you guys, because you're doing great job. So felicitaciones por su trabajo, y espero seguirte viendo avanzando entonces mangas aquí en tu casa. Congratulations.
Gracias.
Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you so much, Begonia. And there was the man of the hour, the local Flapiano Rapo, who just had a birthday yesterday, but he didn't push it too hard, the festivities, and he was able to compete and make it on into round number 3.
All right, let's take a quick recap on what went down during their interview. That was Christian Tapia right here, pulling off a roll, but look how the water just surges onto the reef right there. So that was Christian Tapia on the last wave, and look where he ends up, right on the reef. Caught that wave, ended up on the reef, and now he's thinking about, do I have about a minute left? Do I head back out, or do I just call it a heat and just come in? Because right now he is currently in that first place spot, so 4.77 and a 6, and up and riding, coming around the section on the inside, really in a spot you don't want to be. And oh my goodness,
Kenny Hota pulling that vicious Rolo, and he's clamoring to get some points. He needs a 4.91 to advance with just about 30 seconds remaining. And back to that interview with Rapo, so great. You know, as a new father, he wasn't originally planning to even enter this event, but he's such a staple part of not only this area but the event itself, that people rallied behind him, as well as his good friend Tomate, and he figured, all right, I'll give it a nudge, and he is representing his own bodyboard club, Union Flopos, here at the Arica Chilean Challenge.
All right, there it is. Heat number 7 has finished. I think we are ready to go into the last heat of round number 2. Heat number 8 is coming up next, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after these commercials.
What do you think, Manny? We'll bring it back in.
entrando con un buen invert. Vamos a ver qué dicen los jueces de la primera hora de rojo.
I feel like I'm gonna drop real soon. My mind's just hurting, I'm over the moon. Pulse is sagging out, losing the pace. It's the way you feel, man, now the way you taste. Rebel, rebel, I see you with your gun.
David Hubbard, and yes, it's getting a little chilly. That breeze is starting to come up a little bit.
It is, but we're still holding on to some nice conditions. We're into the final heat of round number 2. Then we're going to move on into 4 heats of round 3. Then we're going to get our qualifiers, the top 8 trialists who are going to make it into the men's division to battle it out with the best in the world.
Yes, so we are in luck. Usually at this time it is blowing out, but the conditions are still glassy and still good for the men's trials. We're going to have the pro juniors and the women's division from this point on. Tomorrow, I think we're going live each and every day.
It's likely, so stay tuned and be tuning in early, 7 a.m. on the daily here at the Arica Chilean Challenge 2016.
All right, let's go to the action. Heat number 8, round number 2, out in the water. We have Cristobal Schiarafia. We have Andre, he's in the red jersey. We have Andre Bernardo in white, Eric Gomez in yellow, Christian Ortiz in blue. Eric Gomez from the Cook Islands is facing off with 2 Chileans and a Portuguese, Andre Bernardo. So Andre Bernardo in white. Oh, wait a second. It was Cristobal with a giant score of an 8.67. So that was a solid beginning for Cristobal. You can see a little texture on the water coming around this section. Andre Bernardo throws a reverse, coming to the inside section, and that is the end of that wave for Christian. All right, taking another one. Cristobal drops in straight into the barrel and just gets hung up. And out he goes, getting tied up at the very top of that wave. Again, thank you for tuning in to the Arica Chilean Challenge, brought to you by Ilustre Municipalidad of Arica. Tomate Surf Shop, presented by Erizos Surf Brand. Now here's a look of who is out in the water. Heat 8, round number 2. And yeah, we're finishing off this heat of round number 2 and going straight into round number 3.
Just heard from the beach announcer, Manny, that this is the last heat of the day.
Okay.
Saving round 3. First thing tomorrow, 6:30 check-in for those fellas for a 7 a.m. start. Just how we were talking about running almost probably every single day of the waiting period. 7 a.m. start tomorrow, but we do have one more heat of round number 2. The Chileans are out there.
We got the winner of the last heat with Begonia downstairs. Begonia, take it away.
Thank you, guys. So, Simio is his nickname. Oh my God, we saw you in Itacoachara making it, and you end up second on the Juniors Pro Tour. I mean, you are right now located on the second position, and this is the big competition, the Open Men, and you just won your heat. Te vimos en Itacoachara, quedaste segundo, estás posicionado segundo en el ranking ahora, y ahora estás aquí en el Flopo, y estás compitiendo con los grandes, y quedaste aquí primero en tu primer heat. Cuéntanos un poco qué sientes, cuáles son, no sé, cuéntanos tú, ¿qué te puedes sentir de todo esto?
Bueno, primero que nada, muy feliz de haber pasado en primer lugar, agarrando 2 muy buenas olas, conectando 2 rolos con harto porte. Y bueno, muy feliz de competir con riders nacionales y mejor en su casa. Feliz, muy feliz.
Well, he's just saying he's very, very happy. He's got 2 very good waves, and he's very happy to be competing with local guys and actually winning them. Pero cuéntanos, ¿qué se siente ser un junior, 18 años, en Open? No sé, ¿qué pasa por tu cabeza? I want to know because he's only 18 years old. And we see that's very common. We see very good juniors competing on the main event of the Open, and it's amazing. I want to know how do you feel?
Pucha, muy feliz, competir con los más grandes de esta categoría y puros pros y bueno, ojalá ser como ellos nomás pues, y seguir dándole, concentrado.
That's so cute. He's just very, very happy to be competing with the big guys, and he just hopes to be like them. So congratulations, Simio or Cristian. We're very, very happy. ¿Quieres agregar algo más?
Pucha, agradecer a mis auspiciadores, Fútbol Sudamérica, Bodyboard Shop, Revo Company, Ostim, Conexión Sur y el Tubazo.cl. Y mandar saludos a la vibra que mandan, todos los que mandan la vibra de Concon y bueno, a darle con todo en este campeonato. Gracias.
Congratulations, felicitaciones. Back to you guys in the booth.
Muchas gracias.
We'll take it. If it starts turning onshore this late in the day, which is 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. Arica time, we'll take it. Usually starts around 11 or 12, but right now, as you can see, there's still contestable waves out there. That was a nice big size set coming in. It looks like there's another one right behind it.
Certainly does. Let's see if it shapes up for any of our competitors. Most of them are being caught inside in a pretty precarious position.
All right, here's a look at what went down during the interview.
Yellow looking for a solid ramp. Will he find it? Nope. Short answer there, no.
Well, I guess that's the only thing that went down in the interview, so not bad for the interview, but kind of bad for Eric Gomez, who didn't really get a high-scoring wave on that. His heat is coming down to the last 12 minutes, so it is Eric and Christian Ortiz who only have a couple waves ridden, both of them in the 1-point range. So both of them have to get going, but it's Cristobal with that 8.67 in a commanding lead. Not much left for everybody else, just 1-point rides.
Yeah, so we're still kind of waiting for this heat to take shape, and maybe it's been the deterioration of opportunities for scoring that led the event staff to the decision that, hey, we've done enough, gotten through these 2 rounds, so let's hold off and let those trialists really battle it out in some really nice, solid, cool, radical, clean waves, hopefully tomorrow morning.
And you're going to see those competitors. I'm going to say they will probably run those last heats in the trials. But back to the action. Nice roll right there from Christian Ortiz. That is what he needed in the beginning of the heat, but he'll take it out the halfway point. That is going to come in the mid-range for sure. So, again, the trials, round number 3, we're going to see the likes of Kevin Orihuela from Canary Islands, Johnny Aguirre from Peru, Patrick Orr from Hawaii, and Danton Correra from Chile. So that is going to be your first heat in round number 3. Round heat number 2, Airam Cabrera, Victor Lopez, Manea Fabish, Alexander Whitman. That is heat number 2. We are looking for the competitors to fill these last open spots. Heat number 3, Francisco Alvarado, live action out the back.
We got Andre Bernardo looking for something here as he finds just some milky suds to cruise with. And not sure if he pulled a maneuver or not. Either way, no score really there. But another wave or 2 out the back. Hopefully we have some rides coming in. Otherwise, we're going to have to keep listing off the competitors in the next heat. But no, it is live action on this solid tube ride from Eric Gomez, the Cook Islander. He's hoping for more. There he's looking, just going to fade out now, but that's a great way for him to edge himself into this heat. Our heat leader, Cristobal, with an 8.67. Christian Ortiz with a 6, Andre Bernardo with a 3, and Eric Gomez probably coming in with a 2.5-ish, something like that. I'm no judge, at least not at this level.
Well, anything's going to help his cause right now because he only has that one wave coming in at a 1.0. So anything throw down is definitely going to help him. So, man, it's crucial to get that first good midpoint or higher range score right off the bat. If not, you're going to be left hanging. It took over 10 minutes for Eric to catch that 5 or mid-range score. So if you got to do whatever you can do to get those first solid waves in the beginning, and then have the rest of the heat to capitalize and improve on that.
It does seem like that is the strategy for Cristobal. Scores coming in 4.5 for Eric from the Cook Islands. So now he needs just 2.51 to advance, but Christian Ortiz bettering his 1.0 will increase the situation for the others to move into that second slot, and Cristobal has a 1.6 counting, so he just needs to ditch that and he'll edge himself further in to that lead. Once again, let's thank the Ilustre Municipalidad of Arica and Tomate Surf Shop, as well as the presenting surf brand here, Erizos, Universidad de Tarapacá, Agua Cielo, 360 energy drink.
Here we go.
Here we have Eric finding another score here.
Oh, get out of there. Look at
Tucking
that.
in for a nice little tube ride, and he's out. So he got a big, short, not deep barrel on the start. Then he got a smaller, deeper, longer barrel on a smaller wave now to get his back up. He only needs a 2.51, but he's going to want to edge as far out in front of Christian Ortiz as he can, because Ortiz is going to be fighting back as soon as he ditches that 1.0. Eric Ganes moves into the lead.
Wow, I can't believe it. A 6.27 on that long barrel. I wasn't saying I don't believe it because of that. I'm talking about the two combination scores, a 4.5 and a 6.27. I mean, I'm looking down at the scores right now. Cristobal 8.67, but he doesn't have a follow-up score.
He's now looking for just a 2.1 to lead and climb ahead of Eric, but that was a good move of Eric because everybody passed that wave up, and Eric moved into the lead with just that last ride.
6 minutes and 46 seconds remaining in this heat as the
Shalom 2 moves into port.
7:20.
All right, probably loaded full of fish and other frutas del mar, fruits of the sea, they call them.
Yum. The 720, though. You know what? Have we seen a 720 completed in a live broadcast on the APB World Tour?
I don't think so. I think we've seen them attempt it.
So is it possible in these waves?
Super possible, and that could have been an omen.
There it is. So you saw it here live. If somebody completes a 720
Shalom 2
on this event, we got to make sure we follow Shalom 2 and make sure we eat some of the fish coming off of that boat to say hallelujah.
All right. We are now close to the 5-minute mark, and we are really looking at the final members of round 3 to join Rapo, Juki, and Kevin in round 3, heat 3. But up and riding, Andre Bernardo. He's looking at a slow roll, and he's continuing on into the whitewater.
Oh, no.
And finds even one more. This is
Get
a
out of
gnarly
there.
area to
Oh,
land.
no.
Gnarly area. Gnarly. Oh, gosh. Ooh, stressing me out.
Wow, that inside section, if you're going to hold on to these maneuvers or do maneuvers all the way inside, that's when I start cringing and holding my breath. I mean, because
Cringing for sure. You need to be wearing football padding, helmet,
probably
full body armor, because you will probably contact the rocks with every part of your corpse. So we're also looking to fill in that last slot in Heat 4, Round 3, to join Christian Tapia, Abner de Arce, and Ricardo Januario.
Wow, those are some stacked heats for the trials rounds. And whew, this is a pretty tough trials rounds period. I mean, to be able to advance out of this in these conditions, you got to be on your game 100% from the get-go of your heat. 4 minutes remaining out in the water. Who is on the hunt for those first and second place spots?
Christian Ortiz and Andre Bernardo are looking for mid-range scores to move into advancing position. It is the Cook Islander and the media maestro, the Chilean Cristobal Sharafia, who are now holding those advancing slots, hoping to make their way into round 3, Heat 3 and or Heat 4, where there's one slot left each.
Again, we just got word this will be the last heat of today, the last heat of round number 2, heat number 8. And we're going to come back tomorrow, 7 o'clock. I'm going to say it's 99% that we will go live right now. Here we go.
Here he is, Cristobal Sharafia, trying to get rid of that 1.6. He pulls a roll. If he's able to land it well, he got close. He'll probably get more than a 1.6. He might get a 1.7. And yellow, here's our heat leader, Eric Gomez, and he's out. He abruptly ends his ride through the course of a erratic ejection on that right-hander.
How difficult, not necessarily riding the waves for Eric Gomez from the Cook Islands, but wearing a wetsuit. He's coming from super warm waters, and now here he is wearing probably a 6'5".
6'5", and with 3 pairs of booties on his ring fingers. And so, yeah, he's spent some time in France, though, Manny, where he may have gotten accustomed to the cold water. But for Islanders, coming into cold water positions and then having to compete at a super rugged wave like Flopos in Arica, it's challenging for sure.
Yeah, I cannot imagine going from 76, 80-degree water and then coming here to a very chilly
60 degrees.
60-degree water. Oh, my goodness.
Or 68 or 72 or something.
It's cold.
It's cold, especially when there's a little breeze. And here we see the breeze is picked up just enough to get a little bit of a chop on the wave. And it's just making it a little bit unkempt. Kind of like how you mentioned my hair was earlier. Manny giving me a hard time about my hair, said it was unkempt, using such a really elaborate vocabulary word, and that's kind of the conditions we're finding right now in this last heat of the day. A little bit unkempt.
So everybody is probably feeling a little unkempt out in the water.
Sure.
All right, we're getting a triple confirmation. It is the last heat of the day out in the water. 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining. I think we're going to finish off this heat, go to commercials, come back, and probably go with the interview of the winner of that last heat. Right now, it looks like Cristobal. So we need to make sure Cristobal gets out of the water and to the interview booth. Out in the water, taking a look, sneaking under the barrel right there. Kenny comes out. No, I didn't see the color. Wait, there he is. Pops out through the whitewash. Christian Ortiz, was that a 4.78 that he was after, knocking Eric Gomez out of there? Coming under the lip on this one. Wow, wave exchanges going down in the last minute in this heat. The question is, was Christian Ortiz wave better than a 4.78? Super deep barrel, not a clean exit, but he was in there for a while. Christian Ortiz coming down to the wire, 20 seconds. Oh, my goodness.
It's all coming down to this because Cristobal's moved into the lead. 4.6. His roll was complete. Now it's Eric Gomez just barely sitting in second position, Manny, with only about 10 or 15 seconds left. We're waiting to see that score drop for Christian Ortiz. Will it be enough to overtake Eric from the Cook Islands?
Oh, my goodness. We're going to go to commercial break, come back with the official results, and then maybe sneak in the interview with Cristobal. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
My mind's just hurting, I'm over the moon. Pulses sagging, I'm losing the pace. It's the way you feel, man, now the way you taste. Rebel, rebel, I see you with your gun.
All right, well, congratulations to Cristobal for winning that last heat. Again, we're going to start tomorrow bright and early. Check-in's at 6:30, but we are going to go live around 6:50 Arica time, so make sure you tune in. David, we're going to see a lot more action tomorrow. Not sure exactly what we're going to throw out there, but the APB Tour Facebook page is where we're going to get all that information. We got waves. It's going to be going off.
We got waves, and we're excited to see possibly all the visions in the water tomorrow, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll make the final call when we see the conditions in the morning, but we will be ready for a 7 a.m. start tomorrow, so tune back in with us. There will be plenty of action here at the Arica Chilean Challenge.
And again, a shout out to our sponsors who are making it happen. Ilustre Municipalidad de Arica, Tomate Surf Shop, presented by Erizos Surf Brand, along with
Universidad de Tarapacá, Aguacielo 360 energy drink, as well as
Aguacielo,
Panamericana Hotel, FMOK, and Hertz.
So there you have it. For David Hubbard, the whole APB crew, and all the organizers here at Flopos on Scorpion Island, we're out of here. We'll see you tomorrow bright and early. Peace.
The ACC, it's one of the most feared events for all the athletes and one of the most popular for all bodyboarders and fans. Whoever wins here could possibly win the world title.
Ahorita ahora va a volar el sudafricano, a ver qué trama este humano. Vamos a ver qué trama este muchacho, va a ir arriba. ¡Ay! Tremendo aéreo de Juventus Houston. Voló la Brenner de la reunión.
What's up, everyone? Manny V here. The Ilustre Municipalidad de Arica and Tomate Surf Shop invite you to the 2016 Arica Chilean Challenge, presented by Erizos Surf Brand.